Yo, it's your Arm video. If you want to build a bigger back, then you should do some type of rowing movement. But what is the best exercise for building muscle for your back? I'm going to be ranking 9 back exercises on a tier list, S being the best and F being the worst. So the first exercise I'm going to be ranking is the single arm dumbbell row. So when doing the single arm dumbbell row, I want you to get a bench. If you don't have a bench at home, you can just find something else that will be stable enough for you just to put one hand on it and then use the other hand to row. I'm going to show you how I would set up the single arm dumbbell row using a bench. So if I was setting up the bench, I would bring this like the long side at a slight incline, probably right there or right here, probably like one down, and I would have this at a slight incline, and I would not do anything to this part of the bench. I would just leave it. So there's different ways to do a row, like depending on what you want to target. And when doing this exercise, a lot of people usually end up targeting the upper back, but I guarantee you that you want to do this exercise to build your lats more. You're not going to want to just go straight up because you're going to be targeting, like I said, your upper back. And if you want to target your lats more, you want to bring the dumbbell like this. This exercise is great. It has great stability because you're using a bench. And the exercise does kind of provide a good stretch, and you can easily progressively overload on it. My form is not as good as I would want it compared to if I use like 30-pound dumbbells. But that's the first exercise, and I'm going to be ranking it S tier. When you're doing this exercise, you want to make sure you have proper form. Like I said, I can row 50-pound dumbbells for reps. The form wouldn't be as good as I personally would want it. But if you want to know if a weight is too heavy for you, if you can't do it with proper form, it's likely too heavy for you. Now, if you don't know if you're doing it properly, you want to record yourself or have somebody more experienced, like a personal trainer, watch you do the exercise and see if you're having proper form. Just comment down below what video you want me to make next that's similar to this. So
gotta make to myself a promise, I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of...
This next exercise is the chest supported shrug. It's basically the same thing as if you were just standing, and then you would just be leaning down like this, and you would just shrug. When you shrug, you don't want to have a bend in your arms. You want to keep your arms as straight as possible when doing a shrug. Incline about up to here. I think that's probably like the perfect height. You want to just have your chest supported. It's basically like if you use the chest supported row at your gym, if you have one, which most gyms have, you would shrug. So this exercise, because it's stable and it really doesn't provide a deep stretch on the muscle, like your traps, I'm going to be ranking this exercise A tier.
Nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh.
This next exercise is basically the same thing as the chest supported shrug, but you're standing. And compared to the chest supported shrug, this exercise doesn't have great stability, and I don't feel like you can cheat in this exercise compared to like a bicep curl, because like in a bicep curl, you would, like, when you get close to failure, you'd be like using other muscles like your hips to bring the weight up. Now you might be able to like use some momentum from your lower body to bring the weight up, but I don't usually see people like cheating when they're getting close to failure. I'm going to be ranking the standing shrug B tier.
So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide. We move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game.
This next exercise is an exercise that I've already ranked before in a video, and it was in my chest video, and it's the dumbbell pullover. This exercise can target both your chest and your lats. When doing this exercise, if you want to target your chest more, you want to have your elbows closer together. And when you're trying to be more lat dominant, you want to have your elbows wider and further apart. You can progressively overload on it, but when you get really strong, it's going to be harder to set up the exercise because the weight is so heavy. That's why I'm going to be ranking this exercise C tier.
Bruh, fuck the game up, change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness, famous for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise.
So this next exercise is the bent over row. I really like free weight exercises. When doing free weight exercises, you'll have more body awareness compared to when you're using a machine, because when you're using a machine, you'll be in a fixed position and you won't get out of that position because of how the machine is made. Now this doesn't mean I don't like machine exercises. For example, if you were using, let's say, a Smith machine, if you were rowing with that, the bar path would be straight the entire time. You wouldn't be able to like change that compared to like free weight. If you're using like dumbbells, that's a great exercise, especially like for your upper back. It mainly works your upper back. Now there's probably a way to make it work your lower back, but I feel like it's primarily more of a upper back exercise, and it does still target your lats a little bit. And if you experience a lot of back pain, specifically lower back pain, when doing exercises like this, you want to have your back as straight as possible. And this exercise isn't really like stable because you're not using like a bench. I don't think it will be a problem like when you get really strong and you use like heavier weights, like 100-pound weights. I don't think it would be that hard to set up because you just picking them up from the ground and then rowing. Now you might exert a lot of your energy when doing that. I'm going to be ranking this exerise A tier. You're going to have the dumbbell like this and then like just be explosive and row it. I don't really like this exercise because it's not stable. Moving fast, you're not going to be able to have a slow eccentric. Now if you're like an athlete like me, or someone that's just trying to increase their explosiveness, this exercise might benefit you. It's probably not going to be easy to progressively overload on, especially if you're using dumbbells. If you're using a barbell, you can probably use a lot more weight than dumbbells. So this exercise is going to be ranked C tier.
I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'm ever stopping.
I won't quit, keep going.
This next exercise is the Renegade Row. When you're doing the Renegade Row, you're just going to be on the floor like you just saw, and you're just going to be rowing. Now this exercise is not the best. It's probably going to be one of the worst in this entire video because you won't be able to stretch the muscle because you're starting from the ground compared to like if you were just doing a bent over row, because you're going to have some separation between you and the floor when doing the movement. So this exercise, I'm going to be ranking it the first F tier.
Till I got it, I won't give up till I'm on top.
I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me, but they hate from inside you.
This exercise will actually help with your posture. It's the reverse dumbbell fly. The rear delt and the side delts is probably the most underdeveloped. I feel like your side delts are more underdeveloped than your rear delts. So when you build this muscle, it will bring your posture up and push your chest out more, which will make your chest look a lot fuller. Now when doing this exercise, you won't really experience a deep stretch. This exercise isn't really meant to progressively overload on, so I don't really think that's a problem. You can still isolate this muscle pretty well and then still progressively overload it by doing more reps, sets, and then controlling the eccentric, because the eccentric leads to the most amount of muscle growth. So I'm going to be ranking this exercise B tier.
They hate themselves in society, so I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen. Oh, the irony to hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo.
So this next exercise is the Seasaw Row. The Seesaw Row is very similar to the single arm dumbbell row, but it's not as stable because you're not leaning, like you're not supporting on anything. You're gonna have a dumbbell in each hand, so you're not going to be able to use like one hand to like put it on something to make the exercise stable, so you can, so you won't be moving much. But when doing this exercise, you're just going to be standing. It's named Seesaw Row for a reason. If you were using like a saw, you're just doing that, but like a rowing motion. You can progressively overload on it, but when you get really strong, you're going to have to find some better exercise. I'm going to be ranking it C tier. If you've made it this far into the video, comment down below what exercise is your favorite out of all the 9 that I've listed in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you might enjoy this one right here or this one. I don't know where it will be on the screen, but